I'm Bias Trades here, and today I'm going to be going over a report card. What is it, and do you need it? This is just from my example. I know many people have different versions of a report card. They're all around the same thing, which is grading your performance. Mine is more, I journal my trades differently, and then I use this as a thing to put in my journal to say how well I did on the grading of this based off my criteria. But in my journal, I may put extra things. But I'll just get into it just in case you're confused and you've seen other videos on report cards. This is just a bit different, not super different though. Okay, so how mine works. Mine works in a way that I have one, two, three, four, five, six different like criteria that I can get a max 10 out of 10 in. And then it averages my score. It gives me a score, an average, LTR grade, and then a GPA, which is the American way of doing it. But I just thought that was going to be useful, but it ended up not really being. But it's still there. So overall, there's 60 points I can achieve, and then I have a little minus marks thing here. I do minus marks off some other stuff, but these are just the main ones. So if I have an impatient entry, then I minus 2 from confirmation. If I oversize, then I minus 4 from risk management. If I go over my max loss, that's just minus 10 straight away. So that normally brings down my grade below a B. And a B for me is a pass. So anything above a B is a pass, and anything below is a fail. And that needs to be something I need to really like spend some time, look at, see what I can do differently. And then just some other ones. So like revenge trading is minus 5 from the emotional cycle. And yeah, and pretty much I'm just aiming to get a B every day, preferably an A, but an A is harder to achieve because I pretty much can't lose any points. I think I can lose about like 3, 4 points in total, and I can still get an A. But yeah, that's how mine looks. I do it in Excel. If you need help creating one, just send me a message or something on Twitter, and I can try and help you. But it's going to be different for everyone on how you want to make it. But this is just how I do mine. Then you want to store this data. This is really important. So I store all of mine. This is just a smaller example, and I can see all my grades. So I can look back on the week and be like, okay, well, I got a good amount of A's this week. I shouldn't be too hard on myself, but let's look at what these C's were. See how I can improve on those. Or if I got like A's the whole week somehow and I traded absolutely amazingly, then I can look back and see, okay, well, what worked? Like, what did I do correctly? And why is this week so much better than, for example, this week, where I got a lot of C's? Was it the plays? Was it my execution? Was it risk management? Like, what was it? So I can look into it, and then I store all the different results so I can see, okay, well, this was mainly from not following my plan or something, right? So it's very useful. Really recommend storing your data on this. And then next, you want to visualize it. So I created this little table where I call it the emotional grading because I guess it's not fully accurate to call it the emotional grading because it's based off some other criteria as well. But I know if I'm really pulling down on this, like at 0.2, then I know that I'm doing pretty bad. And I really need to like fix up, change something, see what's going on. Is it my system? Is it me? Most of the time it's me. It's rarely ever my system. But yeah, those are really good things to be aware of. So you can see I was in a bit of a slope down here, where I was just being way too choppy. Then I've been a bit more consistent recently, staying above 0.6, and it's been going okay. I've been doing very good this week, but previous weeks still weren't as easy as this week personally. Okay, and then next, the last thing you want to do with all this data is you want to create a goal for the next day. And pretty much what you want to do is you want to look at your report card. Okay, so let's say you took 2 trades. One trade you got an A, and one trade you got a C or a D. You want to first look at the trade you got a D in and see, okay, what's the main thing I can do to correct this? So, for example, you could have got a D because you oversized, so you lost 4 points on that, and you also did an impatient entry, so it's just a really bad trade. You got minus like 6 points, so your grade is probably around a D. What are 2 things you can do to fix those tomorrow, and what can be the mental note or the physical thing you can do to make that better? So if you oversized, you could say tomorrow I'm just going to set myself a max share amount I can use, or I'm going to set my shares on limit orders beforehand, like all ready to go, and I just don't touch them. Or you could do, multiple other things. Don't just take one of those and just implement it. It really depends on how you're trading. But try and think about all those kind of things. Think about practical ways you could, solve the issue. Sometimes there isn't, and the only thing you can do is make a mental note and really have it at the front of your mind for the next day to really not do that. So for impatient entries, for a while, I thought it was because I was like really eager to get in, but it was actually from a state of being underconfident and not knowing really and having super confidence in the levels that I trade. So I went back through all my charts, I plotted all the executions and everything, and as I showed you in my last video, I think was an execution tracker, and now I know like these levels work. Like if I trade on the backside and I use this level, I only lose like 20%, 30% of the time. Like this does work. I just have to wait and once it happens, I can trade it. And it's really important to have that. I think that's a big thing for me. I missed was I didn't think I was underconfident. I know my trading hasn't changed fundamentally too much, but it's the confidence in the levels and the confidence in the plays, and that has really helped me to execute how I'm supposed to execute. It's astonishing because before I thought what a stupid thing, like hey, I know what to do, I should just execute, like I have all the things, and most of them haven't changed. I just the underconfidence in the moment affected my trading, and I'd impatiently enter, and then I'd lose 1R, and then I'd finally enter at the correct area and make like 2R, but I lost 1R for no reason, and then minus commissions, I'm not up very much at all, and then that would annoy me, and then I'll take another dumb trade or something like that. So these all these things really pinball into like one another, and if you mess up on one, it probably will affect another thing. So you really just want to streamline nice execution, which doesn't have too many emotional triggers, or you want to know your triggers and then have that kind of ways to prevent it or recognize it. So these goals for the day are great. Also, it gives you a big thing to not focus on P&L. You can just be like, okay, did I do the goal? I did do the goal. Good. I'm happy. I made improvement. No one else could ask like more of me for that. So yeah, this is really, really useful. I hope you take this into your trading. Make sure to have a report card of some kind. Doesn't have to be like mine, but it needs to be something where you're rating your performance based off different things. So thank you for watching, and I hope you implement this.